Secretary Hillary Clinton's legal troubles could be getting deeper and deeper. The FBI now expanding its investigation into the former Secretary of State's emails. And the law the FBI is looking at is the very same law that sent Martha Stewart to prison. Fox News Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge is here. Catherine, I should add, just because it sent Martha Stewart to prison doesn't necessarily mean that they're even focused on Secretary Clinton. The investigation
has expanded. A very important point to make. What's not clear is whose statements are involved, whether it's Clinton, aides, those associated with her legal team. But our understanding is that the probe has expanded to what's called 18 U.S.C. 1001. This is a false statement statute. The statement can be written, it can be given orally, or it can be given through a third party. And the most important point here is that it does not have to be under oath.
And we don't know if it's Secretary Clinton's statement or anyone else's.
That's correct.
But that it's expanded. I tell you, this does mean that this is going to be an aggressive investigation. If anybody had any doubt, because when the FBI starts, the FBI doesn't like it when they think they've been lied to.
Right. We've seen this in other cases. We saw it in the Martha Stewart case in 2004. Those were 2 of the counts of the 9 that she was convicted on. We also saw this issue in the prosecution of David Petraeus, that he had lied to FBI agents about the information, classified information he had provided to his biographer. But you called this very early as a likely scenario in this particular case.
Well, it happens so often when they investigate you for A, and you're completely innocent of A, but when the FBI showed up, the FBI thinks you lied to them, and now you get charged with the second crime, or the second thing, you get charged with B for making false statements.
The other thing we learned as part of our ongoing reporting is that the FBI, as part of the investigation, is doing an independent review to determine the classification of the emails. They're going directly to the intelligence agencies, and this effectively cuts out what has become this sort of political sideshow at the State Department, arguing over whether emails are classified and how highly classified. Greta.
Catherine, thank you.
You're welcome.
And the on-the-record legal panel is here, criminal defense attorney Ted Williams and former prosecutor Katie Fang. Katie, first to you. And as a defense lawyer, I can tell you, it's always scary when they start ruling out that 1001 false statements, because that's so much easier to prove than what's classified and not classified, what someone knew or didn't know.
18 U.S.C. Section 1001 is an incredible piece of ammunition for the federal government. It is what we call a catch-all federal criminal statute. You materially make a false statement to the investigators, and you've caused liability on your own. But I think it's important to note, Greta and Ted, that there is an intent component of that versus the Espionage Act, which the FBI is also looking into, which calls for grossly negligent handling of secured documents. So it's very important that there's a difference in the intent between those 2 crimes.
Except for one thing, is that the intent is what the FBI thinks the intent is. I mean, look, a totally innocent person can have the FBI show up at your doorstep, and if they think you've lied to it and that you intended to materially, you're going to get this felony.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can be totally innocent.
It's technically a catch-all or charge. But, you know, as a former federal agent myself and also lawyer, I'm deeply concerned about the integrity of any investigation that's being leaked by the FBI. And I think that whether it's Hillary Clinton or anybody else, that there needs to be an investigation when FBI agents are leaking.
This could be coming from the defense lawyers for somebody. I mean, you know, when your client's being investigated for 1001, we don't. I mean, I don't know if the FBI leaked this. This could be the defense lawyer. This could be the person, or even, you know, Katie. I mean, it's like this was to be expected. This is what happened to Martha Stewart. I mean, it's like it's after the fact. You talk to the FBI, and kaboom, you get hit with the false statements.
Absolutely. So you're providing these statements to law enforcement. You're not really sure, but shouldn't you know, Greta and Ted, if you're telling the truth about the questions that are being asked of you by the FBI?
It's not you, Katie. But, Katie, it's not you. It's what the FBI says is true. I mean, of course, you can tell it's the FBI.
Look, it's one of the easiest charges for the FBI to make. I've seen it made year over and year through. Where the FBI has went out and talked to somebody. Don't have to be, as Catherine Herridge say, under oath. Just get it, and if they lied, it's a statement that can come back to haunt them.
But, Katie, and it's the FBI says, you lied to me. You may not have lied to you, but the FBI is convinced that you lied and it was material, and they'll get an indictment on you. That's the problem. And you could be telling the truth, and you could be innocent of the underlying offense, but you got yourself an indictment.
You've got an indictment, and then what you have to do is you have to defend yourself. But like I said, if you're not going to let the arrogance of being able to answer the questions that are being posed to you by the federal law enforcement officers to get in the way of you telling the truth, then you need to answer the questions that are posed to you.
As a defense attorney, I tell my clients one thing when a federal agent is talking to them: shut up. Don't say nothing, because anything you say can be used against you.
Used against you.
And it can be misinterpreted and used against you. So anyway, the two defense lawyers are jumping all over this on you, Katie.
That's okay. Bring it on.
Bring it on. All right, Ted, Katie, thank you both.